Hi, my name is K Whitehead. I'm an executive and leadership coach, and welcome to this week's video blog post. So this week I'm continuing my exploration, my interpretation of the 5 practices of exemplary leaders that are found in Kouzes and Posner's book, The Leadership Challenge. And within those 5 practices there are 30 behaviors. And this week I want to, again, we're looking at modeling the way as the first practice. And within that practice, there are 6 behaviors. And the second one is spends time and energy making certain that the people he, she works with adhere to the principles and standards we have agreed on. Let me repeat that again. Spends time and energy making certain that the people he, she works with adhere to the principles and standards we have agreed on. So it's almost like that, idea that if we're expecting certain behaviors, or we're expecting a performance from somebody, we better be prepared to do it ourselves. It's one thing to say this is what we require. It's another to be prepared to be able to do it themselves. And then on the other hand, hold other people accountable if they're not doing it. So one of the things that I've observed in organizations is that sometimes things are let slip. There'll be a particular, well, let me talk about a specific situation that I'm aware of. In a sales organization, often you'll have a really high performer, like amazing high performer, generates lots of revenue for the organization because they're really good at what they do. But on the other hand, they could have some real issues in other areas, like filling out reports maybe, or showing up on time for staff meetings, or even showing up at all. And we may be, is that balance, we may be tended to say, in fact, the situation I'm thinking of, that person was allowed to do that because he was bringing in all this revenue. But the other employees were seeing that. The other staff people were seeing that and saying, well, what's going on? How come I'm expected to be here, but that person's not expected to be here? So if you've got some principles or standards that you're requiring, in other words, you're requiring staff to show up for meetings, it's a requirement, but you're letting that other one slide. What is the message you're giving there? Are you modeling the way by standing up for what you said is important and then letting it slide? Now here's the other interesting thing. You may say, well, we could, can we afford to lose that person? Can you, because of the revenue they're bringing in? But what's the damage you're doing to the other people in the staff? You may have run into the situation yourselves in the past where somebody is terminated and the other staff people go, oh, thank goodness. Like, why did it take so long? Why did they, couldn't they see what that person was doing? And so as a leader, if you've got a set of standards, if you've got processes that you follow, number one, are you standing up to them? Are you reflective of them? And number two, are you holding other people accountable to them as well? They're watching you. Your staff are watching you. They see what's going on. They may not be saying things out loud, but they know. So keeping those standards high is one thing, but keeping them for yourself is critical. And keeping others accountable to them is also important. So thank you for watching this week, and I hope you'll join me next week when we continue this conversation. And again, feel free to leave comments, suggestions, and please feel free to sign up for my blog posts if you haven't done so already. And if you do, I will send you, or when you do, I will send you a copy of my ebook, What Are These Things Called Soft Skills. Thanks very much, and we'll talk to you again next week.